What's good YouTube? And welcome to the house. I got so wrapped up into the TCG ban list, I forgot that we're actually on the clock for the OCG ban list to be dropping, and here it is, the upcoming October 2020 limits and regulations for the OCG. I have no clue what's going to be in here. I'm pretty excited, so let's go ahead and see. What do they have going for them? Imagine putting the list on an unlisted video via a site no one's ever heard of. Wait, what? They released it on a YouTube video? Are you kidding me? Imagine the actual hype if Jerome, even for the TCG, started just putting up the list on a video. That would be so crazy, and you'd get actual explanations and interactions with the cards, right? Like, that would be kind of cool. Alright, let's see what is on here. We've got Forbidden Dragoon and S0? Are you kidding me? Dragoon and S0? Okay, so one of the huge things that kind of was missing here in the TCG was the addressing of the floodgate monsters. A lot of people complained about no calamities, no hits to dinosaurs. We completely missed that. Well, the Numeron engine gets hit. It looks like, I believe they still have calamities, but straight up banning Dragoon? We usually look to OCG hits to try to see if they'll follow to the TCG at some point in time. I do think S0 is something that could get addressed as a floodgate card, but Dragoon is literally the flagship product, the Megaton seller. I don't think we get that lucky here in the TCG for a long time, but it shows that Konami is willing to just slap a Yugi Joey Ace monster and from the OCG, no less, unlike Firewall 2.0. This is some delicious food here in the morning. This is some good, I don't even know what to say. Like, I didn't think they could do it. I would think they would tiptoe around it, they would take their time, but the OCG just went straight in and murdered it. Alright, let's see the next section. Alright, limited, Gearsu and 1-for-1. Wait, 1-for-1, isn't it still at 1 on our list? I should have had our list pulled up already. Gearsu, what was it doing over there to be that crazy? It's a 1-card needle fiber still. Orcust is a really good deck, and I think they haven't heard it as much in the OCG, but I want to see if 1-for-1 is at 1 on our list. Yeah, 1-for-1 is still limited to 1 in the OCG or TCG. So if it's at 1 in the TCG, they're kind of matching. That's something we already have. Gearsu, we haven't sold the reprint, but Konami lately has been hitting cards faster than that. They've been, like, let's give an example, right? They hit the Ib Synchro. They just took it out and didn't care about reprinting it. Gearsu's a bigger one. He's 30 some odd dollars, but again, they hit Orcust harder here in the TCG than in the OCG, so I guess they needed to reel this in on some level. I haven't really kept up with their meta to know that. Still a 1-card needle fiber, and 1-for-1 should have been at 1. You're mad, lads. The most powerful monsters in the game, unironically, sometimes are level 1, the weakest level, because of 1-for-1 and the interactions in the game. Alright, let's go ahead and see what else they're gonna do with their list. There's more, it seems. They semi-limit called by the grave. 1, 2, what is with these numbers on these cards? Like, you make Called by the Grave a Luxac card, excuse my language, ancient Yu-Gi-Oh language. You make it a Luxac card when you're putting it these weird numbers. That's the same concept as Maxi. Put it at 0 or 3, not 1, not 2, but Called by the Grave to 2 in the over here as well. They have Crossout Designator. They're not trying to sell anything. 2 is such a weird number. Nadir Servant already to 2. So the Dogmatica engine, excuse my voice getting a little raspy, I just woke up. The Dogmatica engine is really absurd. You send a lot of things to the graveyard though, so like Call by the Grave helps check and balance that. Nadir Servant to 2. And then Memories of Hope, that's the draw card, right? Like, you're able to draw based on the number monsters. I guess the Numeron engine was extra crazy, but why put a secondary hit in if you're just taking care of S0? Like, oh no, the Numeron engine, and then you draw, and then you're almost done with your turn. Oh, I see more. Alright, spoilers. Let's just go to the unlimited and wrap this up and talk about it all. Alright, we are unlimiting White Dragon Weaver Burster, so I assume Collapse Serpent is still, you know, taken care of in some capacity over there, and there's testing with one, maybe? Machiura the Destructor is unlimited due to the errata, I assume. Necroface joins the TCG list. Personal Spoofing, I don't think we got that ever hit over here. And Red Eyes Fusion Unlimited, I guess I had some sort of restriction on it because of Dragoon. Okay, well, that's interesting and all. Dragon Link, I guess Japan, I don't know how popular Dragon Link is over there, but Dragon Link is pretty scary here in the TCG. It's one of the big winners for the TCG list. Necroface, I don't like it being at 3 personally, just because I have flashbacks to all the rogue plays, and randomly having it summoned as a massive monster, or getting decked out by it. I don't know, I don't like deck out and hand loops, and Konami starts to seem more fine with them lately. It's just something that could develop versus future card design that I don't personally like. And if Dragoon's banned, yeah, this is perfectly fine. And I mean, your Verte Anaconding it, usually you probably only play one. There's no good limit for Red Eyes Fusion, right? I still am so weirded out by both Konami's decisions to do what they did to Call by the Grave. I really am perplexed by the just number it's at. Like, if you're gonna take care of it, take it out back, shoot it, just end it. End it and put it at 0 if you really don't like this card. This does not make sense to me. I guess some power cards like Pankratops truly do get helped by being put at 1, but it still just makes it feel like you got so much more lucky to see this card in this position. And Call by the Grave could also be seen as more of a going second card, as going first it's sitting there in your hand. Going second, it helps you bust through hand traps, force negates, that kind of stuff. I guess it is more so in a position where both players might not want to see it. That's the only thing I could see off the top of my head. Girsu and Dragoon are the biggest surprises by far to me. I guess, again, the OCG having more access to Orcust, they might need something like this. I just don't see this happening in the TCG. I would love to see it, honestly, because I hate when every single deck, due to an extra deck monster, looking at you, Needle Fiber, takes the same routes in gameplay. And all these other decks are now, oh, it's my rogue deck, but I've got a little extra spice in the kitchen. But with Dragoon, Dragoon doesn't make your deck special. It doesn't make it all of a sudden meta competent when you are just adding Dragoon in. And when every single deck relies on the same route and starts to have pieces of the same end board, it's toxic to the game. You feel like you're dealing with the same thing over and over when all these other decks are supposed to do their own special thing and card design is supposed to take you into different places, but no, we're all just going to be dealing with Dragoon. I like this hit. I like it a lot, Konami, and I hope it does translate over to the TCG somewhat sooner than later. I wouldn't mind only having one format with Dragoon, if not 2. And the clock is ticking versus competitive play being back. We know now, versus all those Banlist naysayers, oh, they're not going to hit cards while we don't have events. Remote duels. Remote duels. Yes, they are. They're going to keep the game fresh. They're not going to keep the only check and balance being new product releases. And that does mean, if the OCG is willing to do it, that the TCG can follow suit. What do you guys think of the OCG ban list and how this panned out? I don't think Girsu will be reflected on our list unless we get Harpoor back or something going there for Orcust. And with Rusty Bardish now off, who knows about that one. I would love to see more Floodgate hits also. I think S0 is a toxic card of the game, but the Numeron engine isn't like choking out the TCG at this point either. For some reason, it almost seems like it was abandoned as a whole. I'm even seeing like the Guru players that are doing well choosing the Generator engine over the Numeron engine. Like, mind-blowing to me. And then Yeah, this leaves the most sour taste in my mouth when it comes to Call by the Grave, but maybe it's something like Pankratops, right? Like, maybe they're trying to find a fair placement for it, and their reasoning is that if you're going first... No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. If you're going first, you still hit hand traps, and you get to combo off with 2 cards. Call by the Grave is still a good going first card. Like, sorry for my early morning logic. Straight up, does not make sense. If you've already been, you know, keyboard warring, blah, 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 in the comment section about how you'll use this going first or second, I'm sorry. Just woke up. No coffee, no nothing. Yeah, this is the weirdest situation in the game to me. There's no logic to it. It should be at 0 or 3, kind of like Maxi. That's my take on it, though. What's yours in the comment section down below? Didn't expect another ban list today, and what a one.